I'm Rick Pimentel and part of the Pimentel guitar family. We are going to be talking about the state guitar of New Mexico, which was a bill that was introduced by Senator Papen and Helen Mary Garcia. We were at a mariachi conference in 1997. We encountered Mr. Domenici, and my wife recognized him going down the elevator, and me and my wife were there, Robert and his wife were there. And she introduced himself to him, because I didn't really recognize him. I wasn't really focusing on anything. So she introduced herself to him, and then he goes, Mr. Domenici goes, "And who might you be?" And I said, "Rick Pimentel, my wife Jim Pimentel." And so he said, "Oh, you're New Mexico." And so that kind of gave us an idea, and I was talking to my wife about it, and we talked about it, and we said, you know what, we should design a guitar for the state of New Mexico. Just a nice guitar to represent New Mexico, because we've always represented New Mexico anyways in our instruments, whether it's through the Zias or through southwestern motifs or Indian motifs and that type of thing, you know. So we instill a lot of New Mexico in our guitars. One of our friends, which is from the Albuquerque Journal, Tom Lang, the owner of the Albuquerque Journal, he got very interested in this guitar. He says, you know what, we should write an article about this state guitar, and maybe it'll bring up some interest, you know. And so I said, great, you know. So actually, I was surprised. About a week later, he sent one of his writers, and they did a front page news about the New Mexico guitar. And after that, in 2008, we were at a mariachi conference, and my brother Robert was doing the show up there, and he talked to Jesus Fritz, which was something to do with the state. And so he decided that he wanted to introduce this bill and hopefully have one of the senators represent or sponsor the bill, which actually Senator Papen and Representative Garcia both decided that they wanted to introduce this bill because we were so into sponsoring the mariachi conferences or different organizations, and we donated a lot of guitars for all those causes, for the children, to promote music and dance and on and on and on. And so they felt like it was a great thing for the state of New Mexico, since they wanted to present this bill, which is a bill that says relating to miscellaneous public affairs, naming Pimentel the Rising Sun guitar for the state as a state guitar. It's enacted by the legislature of the state of New Mexico, Section 1, a section of Chapter 12, Article 3, NMSA 1970 is enacted to read, official state guitar, the Pimentel Rising Sun guitar is adopted as the official guitar of New Mexico. So that was the bill that was introduced to the Senate and the legislation. That we had in mind, and these are the designs that we actually came up with to do inlays on the guitar to represent New Mexico. And once the bill was represented, we had to get permission from the Zia Indians, because they actually, the Zias are the ones that the Zia belongs to. And so we went up to the Zia governor, Governor Pino, and asked him for permission to use the Zia symbol to represent New Mexico. And he was all in favor of it. He says, I know of your family, and I think it's a great thing for New Mexico and for the natives, you know, for you to represent us and your guitar as far as craftsmanship, on and on and on. And so then we sent it to the Senate in 1998, about a couple of months ago, and the Senate approved it 32 to 3. It was almost unanimous, you know. And after that, it was sent to the House of Representatives, and the House of Representatives approved it unanimously. And so went to the governor after that, and the governor signed it as the new bill for the state of New Mexico, the guitar state of New Mexico. This is the actual guitar, and all this that you see on the guitar is one of the things that we decided to put into our guitar is one of our rosettes, which is our trademark rosette, which goes into all our classical guitars, which my father designed in 1964. And we decided to use this on our New Mexico series, state series. And also, all this inlays here are with coral inlaid with ebony. And then the inset in here, the sun, is out of gold mother of pearl, and the Roadrunner is made out of ebony, and inlaid into the mother of pearl. And then the bear claw, and then the star, into the sun. And so on the top of the headstock, it's also going to have a beautiful inlay with the U.S. flag and New Mexico Zia behind it. And that's going to be on the headstock, and we're still going to do the inlay here. So this is going to be the state guitar of New Mexico, and we're waiting for the governor to choose the museum that he wants this guitar put in, so that the people can view this guitar as the New Mexico. Woods are actually made. This guitar is made with East Indian rosewood on the back and sides. It's made with the Burrclaw Sitka spruce top out of Alaska, and the fingerboard is out of Gaboon ebony, which is out of Africa, and then the neck is made out of Honduras mahogany, out of Honduras. And then the binding around here, around the edging, this is Indonesian rosewood out of Indonesia. The center part is holly. It's an American wood, hardwood. And then the border around here is all abalone. And it comes out of the waters of California. And then this part here is also abalone. And so it's got some really beautiful woods. Of course, the headstock is also out of East Indian ebony. The guitar this guitar is never going to be duplicated again as far as the custom inlay on the headstock. There'll be variations of this guitar, yes, but there'll never be the same guitar. We'll never create the same guitar again for sale. This guitar is actually not for sale or rent or any kind of use other than the museum showpiece. And so we will make some different types of guitars as the New Mexico guitar, but a little bit different. Well, this guitar, we actually started this guitar in the beginning of 2008. So it's been about a year, something like that. And we started with just the woods and aging the woods and then putting the top together. We didn't know if this guitar was going to be a state guitar or not, but we decided to build it anyways. And so usually our guitars take anywhere from a year to 3 years to build, because a lot of people have to wait in line for the models. And so I decided to start making this guitar about a year ago. And so it's been a year and a couple of 3 months, and it'll be finished within another 3 weeks. It's a lacquer finish that we'll use on it. We don't use any urethanes or polyurethanes or anything like that. So we use the old lacquers because that lets the guitar breathe and resonate really beautifully. So we'll still use the old lacquers. And it'll have a hand rub finish. But this guitar really represents my father. We started the business in 1951 because of its rosettes here, and it represents all of the family of guitar builders. Our family has been building guitars since 1951. They all love the art of building guitars, and the craftsmanship that's involved, the tedious work that's involved in it. Guitar making is a dying craft anywhere in the world, and so our family is still trying to keep that craft alive in today's world of machines. And we're trying to also as a family, because in today's world you don't see families in businesses anymore. It's all, everybody wants to just push a button and there's your product. So within our family, we still want to keep the art of craftsmanship alive, the art of life, on and on and on, and family virtues and family ideas and family craftsmanship.